Matt along with Goo here, and today we're going to talk about Supreme Being Hadlar, a very interesting unit, a tanky unit, but he has one weakness. Is it strong enough to sink him, or should we actually pull on him? Stay tuned. All right, with Hadlar, the main honest skill that's by far the most interesting is actually Hell's Chain. Does MP consumption of 32, which is but it deals physical damage to one enemy and pulls them some three spaces closer. And that is huge for Guild Wars. It makes turtling a lot harder when you have Supreme Being Hadlar. And the other perk, which normally I wait for, but we're going to talk about, is Superior Being. So he has the ability to reduce damage 50% one time, which can trigger up to five times per battle. The thing is it does not trigger or doesn't affect until the second hit. In Japan, the way that they did it, I'm assuming it's going to be here because obviously don't get to playtest him, is that when you get hit the first time, it puts the buff on him. Now it can be debuffed, but it's really not. It's hard to get that debuff to stack because usually the main person we're going to be debuffing, Eric, is or solo, sorry, is going to be using his skill, but instead, it does damage first, so there's nothing to debuff, and it will pop back up on after the attack. And so it will pop. It will have 50% damage from attack 2 through 6, and so his big weakness is being ultra novad in basically the first turn. And if you are going to plan on trying to kill especially a 3 heart or 5 heart Hadler, you need to be able to kill him on one turn. So based off that, though, with Hell's Chain, and if you're going against a computer, you can usually get it to do a somewhat weak attack. He will survive pulling in the unit, even if it brings him out of the formation you want him to, and allows you to absolutely murder that unit that you pull with the rest of your team behind you, etc., etc. He has the Warrior's Extreme Heat spell, does large Sis spell damage to all enemies, which he can also do in a pretty nice AOE. And Ultra Combustion Slash is both for Sis and Bang here, and that is just massive, massive, massive damage. It's only 200, 200, but for the unit in the middle, that's 400 damage overall, both Sis and Bang. Most likely, one of the units is going to be weak to one of the two, and just give you even more damage overall. So in Japan, his first skill only procced on turns 3 and 5, which increased attack agility and resistance. I don't know if that was just a bug, just an FYI, or at least that's what was reported. I never got him. Um, Sizz and Crackle, second and fourth skills. And the third one is HP. When HP gets less than 50%, covers 30% HP and greatly increased damage for 3 turns, with the bump in physical and spell power. And remember, the Warrior Heat spell power is spell damage, but it's based on his attack, not wisdom. So don't worry, it's not weak there. It's based off of his high attack. And the fifth one, at the start of action until fifth, recover 10% HP and increase power for 3 turns, which makes him super powerful and does increase his power full max. But max is incredibly expensive, and die is just better for the full maxing. I mean, if the game's going to give me a 5 heart Hadlar, Supreme Being Hadlar, I'm not going to complain, but I'm not going for that. His HP is 1220, and for kind of his shtick, it's a little low. And I highly suggest doing HP. And if you've got an all HP item that has around 180 HP, also he's at 1400 HP. And with the 447 defense, if you have him 5 hearts, he is nearly unstoppable. And this is one of the few units that I definitely feel HP is going to be better than both agility and attack, just because of how he's built. You really, really, really want to survive, and you don't care about going first with Hadlar. And if you could survive, you just make everyone else's life miserable. But his attack is also incredibly high at 583. So don't worry too much about his attack ability. It's still pretty high if you make him very beefy. Teachable skills, either oomph or a mid heal or a semi, heal himself. Basically, what you're trying to do is if you give him a mid heal or a self heal only, like a meditate, um, he just becomes even harder to kill. And your really main goal is to just delay, 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 and lower points in Guild Wars, especially with his unique abilities, and just make people waste skill spots in order to kill him. And by wasting so much of that, especially if you're going against a computer, you can. He's better manipulating units and staying alive, and with that, that will allow you to save your units. And all in all, that's how you're going to use Hadlar in general. His preferred weapon is his Conqueror Sword, the Ultra Combustion slash HP and attack. As I say, I want to get him to around 1400 if I can. Obviously, I'm not pulling very hard, so that's a whatever. The pros: intrinsic ability allows to have damage up to 5 times, but remember that's only hits 2 through 6. Third and fifth convex are also HP related. That really makes them that much more powerful. And we've already kind of dealt with the cons. Not really going to beat him over it, but no, I don't think he's important. Personally, he's at best a third unit, and he could even be the fourth unit of power in this of the entire banner. Personally, I'd rather see Vern, but all in all, Hadlar Supreme Being, it's a good unit. I wouldn't mind having him, but I'm not going to be spending resources, and honestly, I just don't have resources to spend right now. For Monster Hadlar, we have him, and him is an interesting unit. The main thing that we're going to focus on, he's an incredible defensive unit for A level, even if you only have him at 820 or at the basic 770. He has reduced damage by 45%. So even at the here it says 772. If you do the math and give him another 40% HP, it's around 1350 HP basically, with a defense of 315 for an 8 unit. It does quote unquote cross 30% more in MP, so he does kind of hit hard, but he can only really hit every other turn. And honestly, they built him pretty well for an A unit. He is pretty powerful. And they built him pretty well to his character. He musters strength, and then he can use either Heat Knuckle or Assault. And these deal decent damage. But more importantly, with the muster strength, they do get a bit of more of a physical potency. He has good speed. And good attack. That seems to be a higher attack than what I have here. It might be, I might have an error here. It might be 488 instead of 288. That sounds about right, actually, for him. But all in all, and he's only got a movement of 2, but his Awakening's move +1 is 3 here. All in all, he's a pretty good unit, and basically for the defensive feat here, that's what you're going to use him for. And this is a banner that is almost completely based on, can I survive very, very long time and deal some damage afterwards on top of it. Him is a fantastic A unit. Supreme Being Hadlar is a very, very good, still tier 1 S unit. But am I going to get him no matter what with a golden ticket? I'm not entirely sure. But once again, I'm a little bit low on that right now. I do hope I do get a him. And then we can work our way up on that. I hope you guys enjoy. More importantly, stay safe. For all the people where I live, it's been a pretty dark week with the Canadian fires and all the smoke blowing down to the south. So for everyone that has been hit and impacted, please stay safe. If you've got any questions or comments, please comment down below. But more importantly,